Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to begin by thanking Senator Gillibrand for her calling for this hearing and her unfailing advocacy for women in the military. Like you, General, I'm a father of 3 daughters and also spent a lot of my civilian career focused on combating the problem that Senator Ernst mentioned is a problem not only in the military but across the country of domestic violence and sexual assault. And I think Senator Gillibrand's focus on this benefits the military and the country. I also appreciate your and Sergeant Major's opening statement to say you're going to take responsibility for this. I think like everybody on this committee, General, when I first read the news about the Marines attacking and degrading other Marines, it's what Senator Donnelly just mentioned. I was outraged, disgusted, embarrassed as a citizen, as a lawmaker, and as a Marine. And I'm here in this capacity as a U.S. Senator, but earning the title of a Marine is the proudest personal achievement of my life, always has been, always will be. You know, we talk about that there's been no more formidable fighting force in the world, but the Marine Corps, in my view, goes much deeper than that. I mentioned a story last year. I was walking down the street on Capitol Hill. There was a mom and 2 young kids, a boy and a girl, walking by me, and a group of 8th and I Marines in PT gear coming out. Strong, formidable. And they passed this family, and this mom looked at her kids and said, those are Marines. They're courageous, they're fearless, and they'll do anything to protect our country and keep us safe. That's what mothers in the country are telling their kids. So this goes way deeper than this. I believe if the Marine Corps can't prevent Marines from attacking and degrading women Marines, the Marine Corps is going to lose what it means to the country, to the Marine Corps, to other Marines. So, General, you talked a lot about a perversion of the culture. What do you mean by that?
Well, Senator, like you, I believe all Marines have a belief that our motto, Semper Fidelis, our core values of honor, courage, and commitment are what we are. And that everything that we've seen in this Marines United event is not. And so anybody that's out there involved in this or any other site or doing this, and this is, as this been accurately pointed out, this is something that's been out there for some time. I don't know how they think they can reconcile being a Marine with this. It just doesn't, I don't mentally see how you get from A to B.
One of the things about the Marine Corps and all military services, but particularly in the Marine Corps, there's a culture, and it's part of what we do, is we bring violence to the enemies of our nation, and we're good at bringing violence upon the enemies of our nation. Isn't the perversion of the culture where the Marines are actually bringing violence upon women Marines? Isn't that the perversion of the culture? Which every Marine who's honorable thinks is a disgusting perversion?
I believe that's a very accurate description, Senator. Thank you for that.
Sergeant Major, can I ask you a question? You know, you both have talked about boot camp and getting at this early. One of the things, as you know, that the Marine Corps does very well in boot camp is it focuses on the history of the Marine Corps. You walk out of boot camp, if you can make it after 3 months, and you know about Chosin Reservoir, you know about Iwo Jima, you know about all those things, and you take pride in it. You know, General, I thought your opening statement about referencing 5 Marine women who were killed in action defending our nation, do you think, Sergeant Major, that focusing on some of those issues with regard to our history and boot camp can start to set the culture on a more proper course to recognize that, hey, look at these, they're Marines, right? It doesn't matter if they're men or women, they died for their country. Could we do a better job of instilling that at the outset as we shape the outlook and minds and culture of these 18 and 20-year-old kids?
Absolutely, sir. The task force that the Commandant's put together, led by the Assistant Commandant of the Marine Corps, we met a few days ago, and that's exactly where we're starting. We're going beyond that and starting at the delayed entry program. We're looking at everything we teach Marines, and we have to understand within ourselves, in a 4-year enlistment, 120,000 Marines would have gone in and out of the Marine Corps. 120,000. We would have turned over 2/3 of the Marine Corps in a 4-year period. And we need to step back after 15, 16 years of fighting, and we're still in that fight, and absolutely take a look at not only how we make Marines, from those who walk through the door and want to be something better than self, but also how we retain Marines and families with our ethos of honor, courage, and commitment. We're going to seriously take a look at that, because the processes that worked yesterday, they're not working today, because there are other societal ills that come through the door with every individual that come in, that the tools that we have are not being as effective as they need to be today. So we're going to take a look at from the recruiting of our Marines until the time they leave the gates, and also beyond that, ask the veteran support organizations out there to take a look at our motto, once a Marine, always a Marine. And every Marine that leaves out the door, tell them they're responsible for that Eagle Globe and Anchor. There's some bad actors that have worn the Eagle Globe and Anchor. They're determined to keep these things going, and we know this for a fact. And we got to do better with our ethos and find the tools, the ways, and convince those that come through the gates and those who, like you said earlier, who are thinking about coming through the gates. The mom and dads who are talking to their kids. I have a son at the Naval Academy. They left for spring break going to Orlando. My wife is she's scared to death. And I just sat down with the 4 boys in my basement and talked about this, talked about sexual assault, talked about the ethos of honor, courage, and commitment, the fact that one day they too are going to lead, and they may lead in combat. But first they must lead back here in peacetime, show that they're worthy leaders to go on and lead Marines and sailors in combat. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I'd like to be, proud if my daughter said she wanted to be a Marine, just like my son. I have to ensure that I leave the footprint, along with the Commandant, that provides a way of safety for not only my kids, but all kids, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
On behalf of